So speaking of perpetual dexes, we have Drift. Drift is, I think, I would classify it as the leading Solana-based perp dex. Just to start off, Graham, I have managed to avoid losing any money on any DeFi hack for the past, well, since I started crypto until now. So
this one got you.
It got me, bro. I got it. I got. So I had funds on Drift, and that's gone. I'm guessing, and I was staking like a small bag of Drift, and now it's down however many percent and probably never coming back. I lost a little bit of money on Drift. Woke up to the news. I was like, what the fuck? Oh, man. Anyway, March 31st, around that time, community members, on-chain analysts like Look On-Chain and Peck Shield, but also like Zach XBT, even people in the Solana community like Mert were early to say like, hey, incoming hack, things are looking dangerous. And they basically were detecting suspicious outflows from Drift at around 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This time is important because it ties in with Circle. There was a lot of USDC being taken off of the platform, and all these community members and online people were trying to get a hold of Circle to freeze accounts. They did not. Circle's based in the US, New York City, so you couldn't claim that, oh, it's because it was in Asian hours and everybody in Circle was sleeping. No, 1:30 p.m. New York time. Anyway, they weren't able to, or I don't know what happened. They didn't stop or freeze all that money, and so the money went. It started off in the low, I think it was like 160, and over the course of days, that has gotten up to as high as 286 million. By April 3rd, things were becoming a little clearer. $286 million worth of crypto assets were taken off the platform in 12 minutes. Drift said earlier, a malicious actor gained unauthorized access to Drift protocol through a novel attack involving durable nonces, resulting in a rapid takeover of Drift Security Council administrative powers. They also said this was a highly sophisticated operation that appears to have involved multi-week preparation and staged execution, including the use of durable nonce accounts to pre-sign transactions that delayed execution. That was on April 3rd that they said that. Well, April 5th, even more information came out about this, and it looks now even more dire. And I'm not going to say existential, but it should make everybody who works in around crypto, especially in an on-chain protocol, like incredibly paranoid. So on April 5th, Drift released an article talking about the early findings of this attack. And mind you, these are the early findings, but the early findings are quite scary. So they said that this appears to have been the result of a sophisticated 6-month-long social engineering infiltration campaign. It involved people posing as a legitimate quantitative trading firm that built trust with contributors who worked for Drift that met in person at multiple conferences over months. So these are people who are meeting in the flesh at conferences, gaining trust. They had vetted profiles on LinkedIn, professional, what's it called? Acquaintances and things like that vouch for this. They even deposited $1 million of their own money into the ecosystem. But basically they were able to gain trust by meeting with Drift protocol folks in person and then sending packages, pieces of code, flight test applications that then compromised the computers or the smartphones of the people involved. And it was through this 6 months long process that they were able to gain access to the Drift Security Council. They believe that this campaign was done by the DRPK, the North Korean Lazarus Group. The Lazarus Group, again, apparently has kind of two main buckets. They have the, I'm going to say, kind of unsophisticated bucket where they just probe and try to find any kind of very basic weaknesses. I forgot the name of that bucket. Then there's the kind of very sophisticated, elite level, multi-month, maybe longer group that attacked Bybit last year. And this is done by this elite group, which again employs agents that meet in person at at conferences. And so that's kind of where we are now. The reason that they released this article with information prematurely is that they Drift and the security firm that's doing this audit believe that most likely other protocols are in various stages of being compromised right now via the same group, the same technique. And so they wanted to get this information out as fast as possible to alert any protocols that should be kind of going through audits and seeing if they have any vulnerabilities, including from people that they meet in real life, which brings it to a whole nother level, Graham, to me personally, is that you're now getting basically like corporate espionage, right? Via human to human interactions in real life. And these agents, none of them are Asian, right? These are not like North Koreans doing it. Right. So they're higher, wild stuff.
This is an incredible story, David. I had no idea that the lengths that they went to for this particular case. I thought this was more of I only looked at it on the surface. It just seemed like a hack. This sophisticated 6-month-long social engineering attack, incredibly scary. And as you're telling the story, David, I'm sitting here thinking like, why don't they do this for TradFi? And the answer is that you can reverse the transaction. You just stop it, right? That's why they go for crypto. And I'm thinking as you're telling this story that, DeFi, these hacks and like these social engineering attacks, plus all the smart contract hacks, plus the fact that AI agents or like AI in general is just becoming better and better at hacking. Recently we had this like issue with Claude, I think, saying that, we're going to release the next version, but I don't know, we shouldn't do it because it's too good at hacking. This has me all very worried about the future of DeFi. And I'm going to be looking at my, I've got some stable coins that I'm farming here and there, not farming, generating like minimal yield here and there. And I'm just like, wait a minute, it's not worth the risk with these things being possible. This seems like a major blow to DeFi.
Yeah. And I agree. So again, why was I on Drift? Well, you know me, I think perp dexes are one of the like outside of stablecoins, it's the best product, stablecoins in maybe prediction markets. But to me, prediction markets are separate. Anyway, the best like true DeFi thing, stablecoins and perp dexes. So I'm a believer in Hyperliquid, and I was diversified into other perp dexes because you can't know who the winner is, and so that's why I had Drift, and I was using Drift quite a bit for the past year. But I was just thinking, the first thing I thought of was like, good God, if this happened to Hyperliquid, right? Like, I mean, no, please no. But yeah, it really does make me think of like, how much exposure do I want to any smart contract on-chain protocol, right? Like you have to de-risk a little bit. You just have to, because you don't know how ironclad this stuff is, and the links to which these to these groups are going, and the sophistication of it. It's I'm not going to say it's impossible to protect against, but it's getting close to that level of where you can't even trust people that you meet. That level, right? Like state actor level kind of level of mistrust that you have to do. I will say this. So I said this on Token Narratives last week, and I'll reiterate it here because maybe someone's listening, and obviously not. They've probably already thought of this. But one of the things that people said that I pay attention to on Drift was this all could have been, or most of it could have been prevented if there was like a time lock for major withdrawals. So let's say you're withdrawing 1 million plus. It automatically gets locked for like 6 hours for a review, and then the funds can be withdrawn, or like you can kind of make some kind of escalating level of withdrawals. Like $1 million gets locked for 40 minutes, 2 million an hour, 10 million 4 hours, 100 million 12 hours. And I think all of these protocols from Aave to Hyperliquid to anything like that should just have this kind of hard coded in there, because you you basically want to assume that this is going to happen to you. You want to assume the worst. You're like, oh, this is definitely going to happen to us. How do we? Because all that it would have taken is a human in the loop that could have stopped it.
Yeah.
You know,
I think I would certainly support that, and I think that most people with significant assets on these platforms would actually support that too, despite it, like technically slowing down their ability to move their money around. The fact is that something like that would protect their assets, people's assets, against these type of exploit.